Welcome to the channel The Hidden Coin Hunter, and what if I told you that a penny from 1980, a year when hundreds of millions of pennies flooded out of the Denver Mint, could be worth $10 million? Not a gold coin, not a rare silver dollar, but a simple Lincoln penny that looks almost identical to billions of others minted that same year. Yet this particular penny carries a secret so valuable that collectors have battled in auction rooms to own it, and right now, as you're watching this video, one of these coins could be sitting in your pocket, your car's cup holder, or that jar of change on your dresser, completely unnoticed and undervalued. This 1980 Lincoln penny has sold for as much as $10 million. Making it one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered, and the reason why will absolutely shock you because it involves a minting error so rare, so incredibly unusual, that experts initially thought it was impossible. In 1980, the Denver Mint was producing pennies at an absolutely massive scale. We're talking about over 5 billion Lincoln cents rolling off the presses that year alone, standard copper-plated zinc composition, nothing special about the design, just Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Business as usual for the United States Mint, but somewhere in that massive production run, something went catastrophically wrong with the metal composition. Here's what makes this particular error so incredibly valuable. During the transition period when the Mint was experimenting with different metal compositions to save costs, a small number of 1980 pennies were accidentally struck on bronze planchets instead of the standard copper-plated zinc planchets that were supposed to be used. And I know what you're thinking, how can the wrong metal make a coin worth $10 million? Stay with me because the answer gets even more fascinating. The bronze composition that these error pennies were struck on was the same composition used for pennies before 1982, which was 95% copper and 5% zinc, creating a coin that weighs approximately 3.11 grams instead of the 2.5 grams that a standard 1980 penny should weigh, and this weight difference is your first clue when you're checking your own coins. Now, collectors and coin experts went absolutely wild when these error pennies started surfacing because the US Mint had already officially announced the change to copper-plated zinc composition, so finding pennies from this era struck on the wrong planchet was like discovering that someone had mixed up the blueprints at the factory. Except instead of creating a faulty product, they accidentally created one of numismatic history's greatest treasures. If you're enjoying this treasure hunt and learning about coins that could change your financial future, smash that subscribe button right now so you never miss a fortune hiding in plain sight. Hit that like button if this coin has shocked you so far. And share this video with anyone who handles pocket change because they absolutely need to know what to look for. The story of how these error pennies were discovered is absolutely incredible. One of the first examples was found by a collector who was going through rolls of pennies from their bank, just doing what's called coin roll hunting, which is exactly what it sounds like. You buy rolls of coins from your bank and search through them looking for valuable errors and rare dates. And this collector noticed that one particular 1980 penny felt slightly different in weight, just a subtle difference that most people would never notice, but experienced collectors develop this almost sixth sense about coins. When this collector weighed the penny on a precision scale, they discovered it was significantly heavier than it should be, prompting them to send it to a professional grading service for authentication, and when the experts examined it under magnification and performed metallurgical analysis, they confirmed what seemed impossible: this penny was indeed struck on a bronze planchet, making it a major mint error worth astronomical amounts. The Professional Coin Grading Service, known as PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, known as NGC, have authenticated only a handful of these 1980 bronze pennies, and when I say handful, I mean experts believe fewer than 10 examples exist in the entire world, creating a level of rarity that makes them more scarce than many famous rare coins that collectors dream about owning. At auction, these authenticated 1980 bronze pennies have commanded prices that seem absolutely unreal, with the highest quality examples, those graded in mint state condition, showing no wear whatsoever, reaching that incredible $10 million mark in private sales between serious collectors who understand just how rare these coins truly are. But here's what makes this even more fascinating and valuable: the 1980 bronze penny error represents what numismatists call a wrong planchet error, which occurs when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a completely different denomination or composition, and wrong planchet errors are among the most valuable types of mint errors because they're so spectacularly obvious and yet so incredibly rare, unlike minor die cracks or slight doubling that requires expertise to spot a wrong planchet error is a fundamental mistake in the minting process that creates an entirely different coin than intended. The Denver Mint in 1980 was transitioning between different metal compositions as copper prices were rising and the government was looking for ways to reduce production costs, and during these transition periods, mistakes sometimes happen when old planchets get mixed with new ones in the production facility. But what makes the 1980 bronze penny so special is that this error wasn't supposed to exist at all according to official mint records, making these coins not just rare but controversially rare. The kind of rarity that creates heated debates among experts about how these planchets could have possibly ended up in the production line. Wait until you hear what happened next in the numismatic world when news of these error pennies spread through collector communities. People started weighing every single 1980 penny they could find. Coin shops were flooded with customers bringing in pennies by the bagful, hoping to discover their own $10 million fortune. And while the vast majority of 1980 pennies are normal copper-plated zinc coins worth exactly 1 cent, the possibility that one of these ultra-rare bronze errors could still be hiding in circulation has kept collectors searching for over 4 decades. The identification process for these valuable pennies is actually quite straightforward if you know what to look for. First and most importantly, you need a precise digital scale that can measure to at least 1/10 of a gram, the kind you can purchase online for about $20, and when you weigh a 1980 penny, you're looking for a weight of approximately 3.1 grams. If it weighs around 2.5 grams, it's a standard copper-plated zinc penny worth 1 cent, but if it weighs closer to 3.1 grams, you've potentially found something extraordinary. Beyond weight, there are other characteristics to examine. Bronze pennies have a distinctly different appearance and color compared to copper-plated zinc pennies. The bronze composition creates a richer, more reddish copper color, while the copper-plated zinc pennies often have a slightly paler, more orangish hue, and if you look at the edge of the coin, bronze pennies show solid copper color all the way through, while copper-plated zinc pennies will sometimes show a gray zinc core if there's any wear or damage to the plating. The sound test is another method that experienced collectors use. When you drop a bronze penny on a hard surface, it produces a clear, ringing sound, almost musical, while a copper-plated zinc penny produces a duller, flatter sound because zinc doesn't ring the same way copper does, though I should mention that this test requires practice and isn't as reliable as simply weighing the coin. Here's where it gets really interesting. Grading makes an enormous difference in the value of these error pennies. A 1980 bronze penny in circulated condition, meaning it shows wear from being used in commerce, might be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is already life-changing money, but that same coin in mint state condition, meaning it was never circulated and shows no wear whatsoever, can be worth millions of dollars, and a coin graded MS 67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, representing nearly perfect condition with just minor imperfections visible under magnification, that's when you're talking about the full $10 million valuation. Don't go anywhere, because what I'm about to tell you about authentication could save you from making a costly mistake. Given the astronomical value of genuine 1980 bronze pennies, counterfeiters have unfortunately tried to create fakes by either adding copper plating to normal pennies or by doctoring coins in other ways. So if you believe you found one of these valuable errors, never try to sell it or advertise it without first having it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. These professional grading services have the equipment and expertise to definitively determine if a coin is genuine, and while their services cost money, usually between $30 and $100 depending on the service level, it's absolutely essential when you're dealing with a coin that could be worth millions. The market for rare error coins has exploded in recent years, driven by increased awareness through social media and YouTube channels like this one. More collectors than ever before are actively searching through pocket change, hunting for errors, and the prices for genuine rarities have skyrocketed as a result, but the 1980 bronze penny remains one of the absolute holy grails of error coin collecting because of its extreme rarity, its fascinating backstory, and the fact that examples could still theoretically be discovered in circulation even though the odds are astronomically low. Here's what you need to remember: every single 1980 penny deserves a second look. It takes just 30 seconds to weigh a coin, and those 30 seconds could literally change your entire life. Imagine finding a coin worth $10 million in your spare change. The numismatic community has documented several life-changing discoveries over the years. Ordinary people who took the time to learn about valuable coins, who invested $20 in a digital scale, who spent their evenings going through change jars and coin rolls, and who struck it rich when they found something extraordinary that other people had overlooked for decades. The 1980 bronze penny error teaches us something profound about value. Sometimes the most valuable things in the world are hiding in plain sight, overlooked by millions of people simply because they don't know what to look for. And this principle applies not just to coins but to life itself. Knowledge is power, and in the world of numismatics, knowledge can literally be worth millions of dollars. If you found this information valuable and eye-opening, subscribe to the Hidden Coin Hunter right now, because we cover incredible rare coins every single week. Drop a like on this video if you're going to check your 1980 pennies, and share this with your friends and family, because someone you know might have a $10 million penny sitting in their change jar and not even realize it. Before you run off to start checking your coins, let me give you some final expert tips for searching. Always organize your search. Sort pennies by date first, then examine only the 1980 examples with your scale. Keep detailed records of what you've checked so you don't waste time examining the same coins twice. And join online coin collecting communities where you can ask questions and learn from experienced collectors who've been doing this for years. The authentication process is absolutely critical, so let me explain exactly what PCGS and NGC do when they examine a potential 1980 bronze penny. First, they weigh the coin on extremely precise laboratory-grade scales. Then they measure its diameter and thickness with specialized calipers. They examine the surfaces under high-powered microscopes looking for any signs of alteration or counterfeiting. They may perform X-ray fluorescence analysis to verify the metal composition without damaging the coin, and finally, they compare the coin to known genuine examples in their reference collections. Only after passing all these tests will they encapsulate the coin in a protective holder with a grade and authentication label. The difference between a genuine 1980 bronze penny and a counterfeit could be $10 million versus nothing, so never skip the authentication step. Never trust a coin dealer who offers to buy your coin without professional grading, and never accept verbal authentication. Always insist on professional third-party grading from PCGS or NGC. These services exist specifically to protect collectors and to maintain confidence in the rare coin market. Current market trends show that interest in error coins has never been higher. As more people learn about valuable coins through educational content like this video, demand increases, and prices rise accordingly, but the supply of genuine 1980 bronze pennies remains fixed at fewer than 10 known examples, creating the perfect storm of high demand and extremely limited supply that drives prices into the millions. The historical significance of these coins cannot be overstated. They represent a moment in American minting history when procedures weren't followed, when quality control failed, when something that absolutely should not have happened somehow did happen, and that mistake created treasures that collectors now pay fortunes to own. It's a reminder that sometimes the most valuable things come from accidents, from unexpected errors, from moments when everything goes wrong but somehow creates something incredibly right. Your action plan should be straightforward. First, gather all your 1980 pennies. Second, weigh each one precisely on a digital scale. Third, examine any that weigh approximately 3.1 grams for the color and appearance characteristics of bronze. Fourth, if you find a potential candidate, protect it immediately in a coin flip or holder. Fifth, contact PCGS or NGC to arrange authentication. And sixth, be patient because the authentication process can take several weeks, but it's absolutely worth the wait when you're potentially sitting on millions of dollars. The 1980 bronze Lincoln penny worth $10 million stands as one of the most spectacular error coins in American numismatic history, a testament to the fact that fortunes can hide in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone knowledgeable enough and patient enough to discover them. And now you have that knowledge. You understand what makes these pennies valuable, how to identify them, why they're so rare, and what steps to take if you think you've found one. So what are you waiting for? Go check those pennies, examine your change, look through your old coin collections. Talk to family members who might have pennies stored away, because somewhere out there, more of these $10 million pennies are waiting to be discovered, and the next person to find one could be you. Subscribe to the Hidden Coin Hunter. Hit that notification bell so you're alerted every time we upload a new video about valuable coins. Like and share this content because spreading this knowledge helps everyone in the coin collecting community. Drop a comment below telling us if you're going to search for this error, and most importantly, never stop learning, because in the world of rare coins, education is the difference between spending a fortune and finding one. Thank you for watching. Keep hunting, keep learning, and remember that your next pocket change transaction could literally change your life forever.